What's going on, guys, and welcome back. Happy Thursday to you. We've got a masterclass on how to do an OTA card balance patch for you today. We have 3 buffs to cards that definitely needed more play and are probably some of the most exciting adjustments that we've had in a minute. We also have a nerf to arguably one of the best cards in Marvel Snap, and let's go ahead and start there. Dr. Doom, by many is called the perfect card, and he's getting a nerf today, not to himself, but to his Doom bots. They'll be taking them down from 5 power to 4 power, giving him a total value of 613, opposed to his previous 6 cost 15 power. Now, I'm going to level with you guys. This is a pretty big change to Dr. Doom. We're getting not only, 1 power point, but across the other lanes, something as easy as Lizard now can contend a bot lane. But on top of that, it's going to hurt the decks that he kind of works in best, right? Patriot is going to take a big hit with Doom synergy, just because you rely on those for, those extra power points. But more importantly, man, the ramp decks using the Odin and Doom combos, that's going to take a massive hit, right? Because you're doubling up those Doom bots. And so we should see a pretty significant impact on Dr. Doom. I myself kind of wish that they would have stuck to maybe giving him an extra power point, making him like a 5-6 and then have 5-4s. But he's been on top for a long time, so I get the change. He just kind of felt like the perfect card, and I guess that's why everybody chose him over and over. He apparently had the biggest pick rate by like a mile for 6 cost cards, which, to be fair to them, they did this with Lizard, and it kind of sucked. But what it did do is it opened up 2 costs like a lot more, and we both know that Dr. Doom is kind of always the first choice in what you're going to play for a 6 cost card. So if it brings more diversity, I'm here for it. I know a lot of people like Dr. Doom, because we all play him because he's a good card. So we're going to have to just see how this all works in the, 6 cost meta. All right, now let's move to the fun stuff. And, guys, these OTA buffs are killer. All of them, I like a ton. We got to start with, by far, the one I'm most excited for and the best of the bunch. Nick Fury is going from a 5-7, guys, down to a 4-5. Look, you and I both know Samuel L. Jackson was kind of a garbage card, right? If you used him, you often ended up something like this.
I still believe in heroes.
Well, today, guys, that all changes because even just by adjusting the 1 cost and 2 power, you got probably one of my new favorite cards, especially in Conquest. First of all, Zabu can affect him, which is awesome. But also now we have a way to have a ramp card with Quinjet, allowing us to play 2 powerful 6 cost drops. Now, as a member of the ACFC, you guys know I think card generation is one of the best attributes to have in Conquest, always keeping your opponent on their toes. And, well, we can have some shield synergy as well. Collector got buffed. Agent Coulson summons a 4-cost card, which could also be Nick Fury. And then you can tie that all together with just playing a really good discounted deck. Or if you have Zabu out on turn 6, you can have massive card generation to boost up a Devil Dinosaur that you played on turn 5. So there's a lot to work with here. By far the most excited I've been. Now to take a quick look at the decks early, I have Rocks and Hawks upgraded. This is not the final build, but definitely one that I'm excited to play. I think both of this deck and the next one are going to be elite in Conquest, again, because of all that card generation. I'll have a video on this most likely tomorrow. However, this is great, but I am pumped to have a new collector deck, and this is the one that I think is going to perform at a pretty damn high level. We have a lot of cards that are going to give Collector a nice uptick. You have so much just going on here and a lot of flexible play between Agent Coulson, Nick Fury, and you have a nice set of just supporting cast cards. Rocks and Hawks was designed just because of Agent Coulson, and now Nick Fury is going to firmly upgrade the deck, and look out for that in definitely probably my next video. Now, next up, we've got Nimrod, Fat Kirby here, and he's going to be getting buffed by 1 power point, going from a 5-5 to a 5-6, which is honestly a whole lot better than you think. Now, to begin with, guys, like the pink blob that you haven't heard of until you started playing Marvel Snap has always been underrated. Galactus decks, he's pretty good. Shuri has an awesome deck to utilize with him. Nova's going to bring some nice power adjustments as well. So the 1 extra power in a pure destroy build, which is already performing at a good level, is going to get even better. The more you play with Nimrod, the better you get because you kind of know where he's going, where your opponent has to guess, and it can be complicated. I definitely plan on playing this with a Venom deck I've already been playing, and again, another deck guide for him. But if you enjoyed Destroy or Galactus, consider yourself lucky. You got yourself a card that was already good, becoming even better. So I've been cooking up a Destroy deck for a while. I'm going to release that in a deck guide, but this is a huge Kirby Galactus deck that I'm going for. This is one that I think particularly is going to do really well because you can focus on playing Galactus obviously later rather than earlier. You try to dump negative power with Green Goblin, Hobgoblin, and Shuri. Or Shuri and Nimrod is going to be that ultimate combo to play with Galactus. Even if you don't draw Galactus, you have Destroyer, and it just keeps the opponent's going to be freaking out. They don't know where you're playing it, if you're playing it. I think this deck's going to have a lot of power. Now, lastly, guys, we have our 97th adjustment to Red Skull, and he is finally restoring him mostly to his former glory, ultimately landing him at a 5-cost, 14-power card. Now, as you guys know, Shuri was pretty much wiped from existence, and then Red Skull, and it was all a tangled mess. And it's always been a decent deck, and now I think it's going to be pretty damn competitive without being overly strong because we have a lot of cards to kind of work against Shuri. But Red Skull, immediately now, we've got that 28-power Taskmaster play that if your opponent isn't ready, it's going to work, right? We've got cards to deal with it now, but I'm excited to see the archetype come back just a little bit. But more importantly, we have the 0 in Red Skull play, which is 17 power, really strong. The first deck I'll be looking at is my Evil Zoo. I think this is a very strong deck to utilize Red Skull. Also, my Surprise Ultron build that I have a video that you can check in the top right-hand corner used to utilize Red Skull because he can get some kind of cheeky Patriot synergy, as well as Sauron, who I always felt like was a little bit underplayed as well. There's some cheeky decks out there with Ghost Spider. I'm going to be posting videos on all these changes. Pretty much every adjusted card deserves a new OTA deck video, so be looking out for those. Now, outside of just Evil Zoo, also, guys, obviously, the old Shuri decks used to do great, and this is kind of my new blend of the new Shuri deck with a Sauron Shuri action. We have our new Red Skull that we can copy. We've got She-Hulk that we can play if we want to delay this to turn 6. We have Taskmaster to copy either the She-Hulk, Red Skull that's doubled up. Obviously, these 1-cost cards are flexible, and you can throw in, Spider-Ham, whatever you want to there. Nebula just has great scaling. Our Sauron's going to benefit our Ebony Maw. There's just a lot going on in the deck that you can benefit from, and definitely excited to try this one out as well. So between Dr. Doom, all those buffs and nerfs, I think we're going to have a nice, pretty healthy meta. High Evo did avoid an adjustment. I know it takes some time to kind of look at the numbers. Again, I'm not going to be surprised if he gets tuned up a little bit, but with all these different decks, I think there's going to be more ways to deal with that card as a whole. And just curious from you guys, let me know down below what you would do to adjust High Evo. Obviously, a good card. You don't want to kill it, but, maybe he needs some adjustments. I want to hear from you guys. Also, we are trying to get to 100,000 subs by the end of June, and that's like a week, so it's not going to happen. But if you guys enjoy the content here, and if you want to take a second to go ahead and subscribe down below, that'd be awesome. Appreciate it a lot. All right, guys, next week we got the Infinite Conquest. We've got the last week of the season and a whole lot more. So until then, have a good one. Have a great one. Until the next one, happy snapping.